we've been talking about this thing called the Nerve Center, and that thing is called the Bomas of Kenya. So we are going there to get a sense of what's happening there now from Leila Mohammed, who's holding brief for us there. Leila, good evening once again. It's good to speak to you. What's it looking at like at Bomas now that we've gotten to the 5 p.m. time, and have we gotten any sense of an idea of when we are going to get the briefing from the IEBC?
Well, Dan, this is when the day begins here at the Bomas of Kenya. This is the media center where every person in the media industry is here trying to crunch the numbers as had been presented by the IEBC in their first and only press briefing that they gave us at around 1 p.m. this afternoon. The vice chairperson of the commission and a few of her commissioners from the IEBC coming here to debrief us on the morning session, and up to noon 6.6 million Kenyans had turned up to vote in polling stations across Kenya. This they said was 30% of the initial vote of a total of 22 million Kenyans who are registered to participate in this 2022 general election. They were specific that the county 037 Kakamega and 001 Mombasa County will not participate in the gubernatorial election, and that is because of issues in the ballot papers. So as two other constituencies in South Pokot South and Kachaliba constituencies, they also added 2 MCA positions this particular day that will not participate in the MCA election, and these are in Kitui Rural and Rongai constituency. Those will not participate for choosing their MCA, and the same reason that was happening yesterday is a similar one that will be here. Azimio team were also expected to brief members of the press this evening. What we were able to see was Paul Mwangi, one of the agents of the Azimio candidate Raila Odinga, was here earlier. Maybe he's just stepped out. They were saying they needed to address the Kenyans. When and where, how that will happen, we will be able to bring that details later for you. But for the 10,000 diaspora voters, some have voted in the East African region, some are continuing in the early hours of voting in the United States, in the United Kingdom. They are 3 hours behind us, so they will be also participating, as well as Canada is also in the space with the United States. Those are some of the diaspora votes, and Qatar is also participating as well. South Africa, almost and less than an hour away from us. By that time, it's 5 p.m. There, the polls will also close. So we are expecting details on issues like what happened in South Sea earlier, where members of the public had voted in those polling stations for quite some time, and when they went to vote this morning, they found that their names were not in the registers there. They were going to consult with the returning officers and the presiding officers of those regions to give us those details. We are also expecting that announcement on Eldas. They are saying that there was a security situation there. This morning, they sent out one of their commissioners. They did not mention who, but he took a chopper here from Nairobi to Wajir to go to that part of the Republic of Kenya, because as we are aware, in that particular constituency, the entire election from the MCA to the presidential vote has not been conducted. So they were saying this could happen either later today or tomorrow, and these are critical issues that will be catering to that all-important presidential vote, which has a deadline of 7 days in which they are expected to announce who will have garnered what kind of votes. Will the 50+1 identifier for who will be declared winner in this vote? Will we go to a second vote based on the numbers not adding up, or will there be any other critical issues? We also are aware that some members have been arrested in Mombasa. IEBC said they were going to talk to their officers in that county and together with the police service to give us a debrief on what were the reasons behind those individuals being arrested. Also, they talked about an accident in Turkana earlier in the day, and those were some of the reasons why some of the polling stations in that part of the country were opening really late, as well as due to weather conditions in some other parts of Kenya, which they were not able to announce really proper in the earlier briefing, that due to weather changes, some of those polling stations did not open. But for majority that opened earlier at 6 a.m. as had been stipulated by the law, it is almost 27 hours this evening, so they should have closed 27 minutes ago. But once everything has happened in those constituency level where there will be counting and announcements of MCA and parliamentary, they head to the counties, and everything else comes back to the Bomas of Kenya, and this is where everything that matters in the presidential vote will be announced, and we will be here until the date when Wafula Chebukati, who is the National Returning Officer, will make those critical and big announcements.